Hi, I'm Amberly from Aubergine Designs. I help homeowners, builders, and realtors make smart design decisions before time and money get wasted. Hey, welcome back. Today we're talking about something that fundamentally changes the way you see home design, and honestly, once you see it, you can't unsee it. Most conversations about homes focus on what we can see: the finishes, the furniture, the paint colors, the countertops, the lighting fixtures. And yes, all of those things matter. But a well designed home is not just a collection of beautiful choices, it's an experience. Here's a little context about where I'm coming from. My background sits at the intersection of interiors and residential design and user experience design. For years, I worked on how people move through digital products: what they notice first, where they get stuck, what feels intuitive, what feels confusing, and what makes something feel easy, useful, or memorable. Homes are not software, obviously, but people still move through them. They arrive, they scan, they make assumptions, they pause, they notice, they feel. And whether you're renovating, building, preparing to sell, or simply trying to make your home work better, that experience matters. So let's start at the beginning. What do people see first? The experience of a home starts before anyone reaches the kitchen, the primary suite, or the carefully chosen tile. It starts at the approach, the walkway, the front door, the entry, the first sight line when someone steps inside. These early moments set the tone. They tell people whether the home feels cared for, welcoming, cramped, dated, or calm. Every home has a first impression. Sometimes it's created by a clear view into a beautiful living space. Sometimes it's a well-placed mirror, thoughtful lighting, an uncluttered entry, and sometimes the first impression is accidentally working against the home. A dark hallway, a cluttered drop zone, a door swing that makes the entry feel tighter than it actually is. These aren't always expensive problems, but they are experience problems. Now, in both design and real estate, the pause matters. People pause when something feels good. They also pause when something feels confusing. A buyer might pause because they're picturing themselves having coffee in the breakfast nook. Great pause. Or they pause because the living room feels warm and easy to imagine, using also a great pause. But they might pause because they can't figure out where the dining table would go, or because the kitchen workflow feels awkward, or because a room technically exists but its purpose is unclear. Those pauses create very different emotional responses. One says, "I can see myself here." The other says, "I'm not sure how this works." That distinction matters enormously. Let's talk about friction. Friction is anything that makes a home feel harder to use, harder to understand, or harder to imagine living in. Sometimes friction is physical: a narrow walkway around furniture, a refrigerator door that blocks the main path through the kitchen, a bathroom door that swings into an already tight space, a laundry area with no landing zone. Sometimes friction is visual: too many competing focal points, poor lighting, disconnected paint colors from room to room. And sometimes friction is emotional. A buyer may not be able to explain exactly why something feels off. They'll simply say, "It just didn't feel right," and that feeling matters just as much as anything they can put into words. A home can have beautiful finishes and still feel awkward. A kitchen can have expensive appliances and still be frustrating to work in. Good design reduces friction before it ever becomes obvious. Here's the part I love: delight. Delight doesn't have to mean dramatic. It doesn't have to mean luxury. Often, delight comes from moments that feel thoughtful. A bench exactly where you want to sit to take off your shoes. A clear view from the kitchen to the backyard. A sunny corner that naturally becomes a reading spot. Lighting that makes an evening routine feel calmer. A paint transition that makes the whole house feel more cohesive. These are the details people remember. They're also the details that make a home genuinely feel better to live in. That's the difference between designing a house as a set of rooms and designing it as an experience. If you're planning a renovation, this kind of thinking is especially important before construction starts. It's easy to get pulled into finish decisions too early: cabinet color, tile shape, countertop material. Those decisions are fun, and they're visible. But they're not the only decisions that shape how a home feels. Before choosing finishes, ask yourself, how will people enter this space? Where will they naturally walk? What will they see first? What currently feels awkward? What should feel calm, open, cozy, or special? These questions can change the entire outcome of a renovation. They affect layout, lighting, storage, furniture placement, door swings, and even which finishes actually make sense. When those decisions are considered early, the final result tends to feel more intentional, not just prettier, better. And if you're preparing to sell, this matters here too. Buyers aren't only evaluating how a home looks in photos, they're evaluating how it feels to move through. They notice whether the entry feels welcoming, whether the main living areas make sense, whether anything creates doubt. A buyer may not say, "The experience design of this home feels unresolved," but they might say, "I don't know where we'd put our stuff," or "The kitchen felt tight," or "My favorite, I liked that other house better, but I'm not sure why." That not sure why, that is often exactly where experience design lives. Here's the bottom line. Designing a home well is not just about making individual rooms attractive. It's about how those rooms work together. It's about movement, sightlines, function, mood, and memory. It's about removing the little moments of friction that make daily life harder and creating moments of ease and delight that people may never consciously analyze, but absolutely feel. A beautiful house is wonderful, but a beautiful house that feels intuitive, welcoming, and easy to live in, that is better design. Design the experience, not just the house. Thanks so much for watching. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below, and if you're in the middle of a renovation or thinking about selling, feel free to reach out. I'll see you in the next one.